I don't know how they got to this point in the conversation, but Ocho evoked the name of KD in the city of Miami.
Kevin Durant was free and didn't go to Miami. So what makes you think you're going to get him now? Kevin Durant's been totally free. He's been totally free twice. When he after OKC, he went to Golden State. After Golden State, he went to Brooklyn. What makes you think he want to go to Miami now?
Because I talked to him. I talked to KD. And I know KD gonna see this, and KD can attest to this. And you could talk about it tomorrow on First Take. I talked to KD. KD and I had a lengthy conversation. Listen, I'm not into basketball, and people like KD and LeBron and some of these other players that I know, they confided me, and I asked if it was okay to talk about it tonight on Nightcap, and just so happened, boom, it comes up.
Right.
And he said, you know what, he would have no problem coming down to Miami if it made sense. And what pieces the Heat are able to keep and surround him with to make sure they have a chance to be able to continue.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness, right there. Honestly, I just heard that again, Base Earnings. This is like the second time that I've actually heard this, or third time that I've heard this right now. He basically just said, KD said it was okay for him to actually appear on your show right now, Shannon, and say what I'm about to say.
Yeah, it was funny how Ocho's like, and then look, it came up. Like, well, yeah, probably because you brought it up. That's how it came up on the show.
Yeah, right, exactly. But again, if that is the case right there, what does that make you feel like right now? You got a guy out there who, you know what? Hey, Ocho, you go ahead and you campaign for me to possibly get moved to Miami. I'm okay with that.
If that's the way it went down, then that would make me feel one way. But again, it's Ocho. Ocho likes to talk. Ocho likes to... I'm not saying he's embellishing this. I just don't think we have enough, because the way he said it at the end was what? I would have no problem playing in Miami if it was like if it worked, if that made sense for everybody.
Yeah, but once again, listen to it, play it again, and listen to the middle of it where he points out where he talked to me. Listen to this.
Okay, but also then if I'm going to replay it, listen to the end, and could it not just be Ocho being like, hey, why don't you ever come play for the Heat? And KD just being polite and be like, yeah, I'd play there if it made sense for everybody.
That's not what he said. Listen to the middle.
Kevin Durant was free and didn't go to Miami. So what makes you think you're going to get him now? Kevin Durant's been totally free. He's been totally free twice. When after OKC, he went to Golden State. After Golden State, he went to Brooklyn. What makes you think he want to go to Miami now?
Because I talked to him. I talked to KD. And I know KD gonna see this, and KD can attest to this. And you could talk about it tomorrow on First Take. I talked to KD. KD and I had a lengthy conversation. Listen, I'm not into basketball, and people like KD and LeBron and some of these other players that I know, they confided me, and I asked if it was okay to talk about it tonight on Nightcap, and just so happened, boom, it comes up.
Right.
And he said, you know what, he would have no problem coming down to Miami if it made sense.
Okay,
and what pieces the Heat are able to keep and surround him with to make sure they have a chance to be able to continue.
Okay. So right there, I mean, he basically is just saying I talked to KD and he was okay with me actually saying that. You didn't hear that?
I did. I just feel like he left something out where he's like, so I asked him if I could say it, and then he just started saying it. He never was like, yeah, and then KD was like, yeah, go ahead. I hear what you're saying.
So how I heard it is that Chad Ochocinco and Kevin Durant somehow started talking, right? Who knows what their relationship is, if it goes back, or whether Ochocinco just called him up and wanted to talk to him. But what I think, KD wouldn't feel comfortable with Chad Ochocinco allowing it to go out there, and then bringing it up on First Take if KD didn't want that out there. Now, if KD didn't want that out there, or if he didn't trust Ochocinco, he wouldn't have said it to him, right?
Well, if you listen to Ochocinco said he knew I was going to bring this. And he told me I could bring it up.
And it was so in-depth that it was, they could build the pieces around it, the bench, etc. So this isn't just Ochocinco being like, hey, you want to be a Miami Heat?
Yeah. No, that's fair. And it's the one thing Aaron just said, too, that is undeniable. even if you don't want Ocho to say it, anything you say to Ocho, there's a pretty good chance it's getting said.
Wait a minute, though.
So you got to be like. See, I feel like, Wolf, if like something was going on in my life and I didn't want it to get out there, I could tell you. I could tell Aaron.
Right.
I would not tell Chad Ochocinco.
Okay, you would not do that unless you had a great relationship with Chad Ochocinco.
But I still think it's possible, especially if somebody's putting a microphone in front of his face, it might come up.
There's no way to me that Chad Ochocinco is going to sit there and take that to the nation, if you will, make that known to everybody in the basketball universe unless he was given a green light. There's no way. That is like, dude, you don't mess with a locker room. The sanctity of the locker room, once again. Kevin Durant now has made it, through Chad Ochocinco, has made it known that he'd be fine leaving the Phoenix Suns and Devin Booker and Bradley Beal and everyone else in the organization to actually go play in Miami.
If it made sense.
If it made sense.
So, no, look.
Yeah, but what? I mean, come on.
But then why say it?
It's not about if it made sense. It's just about the fact that it's said.
No, but I'm not saying that you guys are wrong. I'm just saying that I wonder how many conversations like this happen in the NBA today as it is. There's a difference between him saying that and him demanding that he wants out of Phoenix. If he wants out of Phoenix, that will come up.
Yeah, see, for me right now, it's not a demand. It isn't a demand. And that's KD. It's not a demand. He doesn't do anything decisive. You know what he does? He plays basketball. That's what he does. He's very, very good at it. Great basketball player. We love him. But this is the one thing about KD. He is chill.
I just don't want to trade Kevin Durant.
Man,
but I'm
telling you right now, honestly,
it is hard to defend. I'm trying to defend it.
If you don't have Kevin Durant coming out and saying, Chad Ochocinco's a good friend of mine, but you know what? He does not speak for me. If we don't have some type of denial on this, if I was his teammate, I'd want to know why.
You just said sanctity of the locker room, and it sort of felt like that was missing for the Suns this season. not like things were being said and they were leaking out. I don't mean like that. It's just maybe it was just because there were so many new players on the team this year.
Man,
but you're right. There are certainly instances where, like, if something like that came out, it would be like, hey, yeah, you need to get social media where everyone do it.
Is that good for team
today.
continuity? Is that good for continuity right there?
But do you feel like...
Well, I'd be okay going to play in Miami.
Do you feel like it's a big deal to his teammates, though? That's kind of what I'm saying. I don't know. He's my teammate. We're trying to win a championship here, and you're leaking that out there? No, not should it be a big deal to his teammates. Do you think it's a big deal to this team? Like, they just never have seemed that, like, tight-knit.
Again...
I almost feel like we're giving them too much credit, in a way.
Giving what?
Like with the locker room. It wasn't like a Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson fun all together.
Yeah. You're right. No
Maybe Booker isn't coming out and saying anything because that's full on speculation.
No, but that's kind of what I was getting at. Like if Mikal Bridges had said if Ocho 2 years ago had been like, hey, I was talking to Mikal Bridges and he'd be fine going to play for Brooklyn or whatever. Yeah. I feel like there would have been like a revolt. Like Booker would have been like, "Hey, we're going to talk about it right now, and you're going to go out there and say this." And like it was such a tighter group back then. Where now it just kind of felt like a bunch of guys that played basketball together, and they went their separate ways the second the season ended.
I'm just saying, for me, if I were Kevin Durant's teammate, I would not feel good knowing that Kevin Durant told Chad Ochocinco, "You could go out here and leak this. We could go ahead and do that. Yeah, that's okay." You can do it. Where's the denial from Kevin Durant? Where is it?
None of these guys have been his teammates very long,
Well, still, yeah, once again, I'm not talking about KD. I'm talking about me as his teammate. That's, dude, go.
Part of the problem is there wasn't a Wolf on this team.
Go.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.